Welcome to our step-by-step video for AR3 Football. We will show you how easy it is to display augmented reality advertising, plus a few other virtual graphics during your football matches. When you purchase our AR3 solution, you receive a case with several items inside. You will find a Thunderbolt external video board, power supplies for the board and the laptop, licensed dongle, and a high-performance laptop. Let's connect everything. First, we provide power to the laptop, then connect power to the video board. Connect the Thunderbolt 3 cable from the external board to the PC. Insert licensed dongle into a USB port. Connect a network cable to the laptop. Now, let's connect the video cables. Connect the reference or genlock to the reference connection on the board. Connect the master camera to SDI1. SDI2 and SDI3 are reserved for the side cameras when used. SDI4 is where you connect your video output. Open the laptop and start it up. Before we move into the application, this diagram shows you the setup we're using. To start the application, double-click the AR3 icon on the desktop. First, we need to double-check a few settings. Click on the Settings wheel on the top right corner of the application window. We just want to make sure the configurations are correct, namely, the root path, normally r:/. The size of the game field, both length and width. This is only important for speed or distance measurements. Also, there's an update about to be released that moves the setting to the match settings instead of here. And further down, check the video format and the video output board, which here shows the Decklink Duo installed in the external chassis, and then press OK. Now let's create a game. Create it by choosing the New Game option in the top left menu. Give it a name. We are using Demo Match. Choose the graphic project that you'll be using. We're using 59.94, but choose the one most suitable for you. Optionally, set the stadium name and set the date. We now have a game on our game list. We now need to add at least one camera. Press the plus button just above camera name. We set its type as master camera. We'll call it master cam. We activate all the allowed events and we press OK. And now we have a camera in our camera list on the right. If you have left and right side cameras, you would also add them here, but we're sticking to a single one for this demo. The next step is to calibrate the cameras for our game. Let's load our game by choosing it from the list and clicking the Load Game at the bottom of the screen. For this, you would normally ask your cameraman to give you the camera shots required for the calibration. As we are in our studio, we're using some pre-recorded footage for the camera shots we need. We'll still go through every angle in the setup though. First, we press the camera calibration button on the bottom left under the camera preview. We can see here on the top of the application all the camera shots required to calibrate our master camera. Okay, let's go for the first shot. Once the cameraman is giving you the angle that matches the image you see on the top, you press the camera icon to capture the image. Now we do this for all the angles. All of them should now have yellow check marks. We can still review each of them by clicking their image. If they all look good, we can now start the detection of the field lines. We do the line detection by putting the mouse over this arrow in the middle of the screen and choose Detect Field Lines, such that the system attempts to identify all lines for the given shots. As long as the system identifies the lines, the check marks will now have turned green. As you can see, this last shot wasn't identified properly. We'll get back to it. Let's check how the other ones look. They all look good except for the last one, so we will manually select known points for it. Press the button for the manual point selection, and you see the Field Points tool now open on the bottom left side of the application. Click the location you want on the tool, and then the same location on the camera shot. If you press the Control key and click, you get a zoomed in image that will help you position the marker more precisely. Do this for as many points as possible, as this improves the accuracy. Also, the wider the points the better, as the system compensates for the camera lens distortion. Once done, right-click the snapshot on the top list that you are manually editing, and choose Detect Field Lines. Great! All the lines match the ones on the field. Now that all our camera angles have the lines correctly detected, we'll tell the system to calibrate the camera. Just open the options on the top of the video and choose Calibrate Camera. In the preview window, we can see a progress bar showing how far along the process is. It should just take 10 to 20 seconds. Lastly, we save the game. We will now return to live mode. Press Start Tracking in the preview video, and the detected lines will now be visible in the main camera video, confirming the correct calibration of the system. You can ask your cameraman to move the camera back and forth to further validate that all is working correctly. We're not doing it, as we'll keep using the same pre-recorded video for the next step. Now that the system knows exactly where the camera is pointing, let's make use of it and add some graphics to the field. We'll start with some team logos. Click the button for the Virtual Placement tool and you'll get some additional options. The system has 3 preset scenes. We're choosing to edit the team logos one. We can then select the left logo. We just picked a sample image we downloaded for this demo. We decrease the alpha to provide a more natural look. Then do the same with the right logo. You can resize and move your logo around the X, Y, or Z axis. There's only one more step to do. We want the logos to be placed over the field and not over the players and ball, so we need to make sure the Apply Chroma is selected for our scene. We click the button on the top right for the Chroma Picking tool. This allows us to select the field colors. The default settings should be enough, but you have the ability to change the tolerances, fade, and other parameters if necessary. The graphics will now be showing correctly. Let's use the person in the middle of the field to show this. We'll move a logo to the same location, and you can see that it shows underneath the person. If we unselect the Apply Chroma, you can see that the logo is now on top of the person, which looks bad. Let's move the logo a bit more so it becomes even more noticeable. Here it is. See the difference? Okay, let's get our logo back to its normal location. Let's now choose another of the available scenes, the Logos Plus Score. It is predefined to show a score, but you can add any text you want, like a Twitter hashtag for the match. To change the text, we just edit the scene. In this case, we would edit the text field at the bottom. One of the best uses of these AR features is to highlight a sponsor, or even to sell some additional advertising. It's very simple to do. We just create a new scene by pressing the New Scene button. We give it a name. In our case, we'll use Sponsor. We pick the new scene and create a new group, which we'll call Sponsor Group. We then need to add at least one placeholder, which can be of several types: image, text, image sequence, model, or 3D animation. In this case, we're just going to add an image, so we choose the type image and we named it Sponsor. It's barely visible, but behind our window there's already a placeholder at the center of the field for our graphic. We can then pick our sponsor logo. It's rather small, so we change the size so it fits the midfield circle. As we did with the team logos, we'll reduce the alpha value to look more natural. Oh, we forgot to select the Apply Chroma option such that the players are above the graphic. Let's go back and do it. The system is now set up to launch any of these graphics whenever required. Let's fast forward to the actual game so we can see it all in action. As you can see, the system is tracking the field, and the last graphic we added, the sponsor, is correctly tracked and shown in the middle of the field. The players move on top of the graphic. And the team just scored a goal. So it is a good time to launch our Team Logos Plus Score. edit the new score, press the button to send it on air, and the graphics will fade in the output video source. As for on air, the application removes the detection lines and shows exactly what is being sent out on the output stream. Press the red on air button to go off air, and the graphics will fade out. Similar to the sponsor example that we placed at the center of the field, we can add advertising to cam carpets to be placed behind the goal lines. It just requires adding some perspective to the layout, but it's still very easy to do. Here are some examples of the end result. Also, if you remember when we were creating the midfield sponsor, we used an image, but we could have chosen an image sequence. We typically use these pre-match or at halftime. As you can see, it's very easy to obtain additional value from your matches by using intuitive ad insertions. AR3 comes with other features though. You can see them in the application on the top left corner. You can choose offsides, free kicks, and speed measurements. We won't go through the setup of each one, but they're very easy to use and very customizable. Here are some examples. So, all you saw so far only required WT Vision's AR3 Football application. The use cases grow when integrating with external solutions and data. When combining AR3 with a graphics engine, some amazing stuff can be shown. We suggest working with our own R3 Space engine and designer for a perfect integration, but it works with many other third-party engines. In these examples, AR3 sends the tracking data to the engine, managing the starting lineups for a nice moving 3D effect on top of the live video. Here's an example with the man of the match. And here you can see what we did for the Canadian Football League, where we added virtual stands with advertising to a rather empty field. But we can also add virtual advertising to existing stadiums. We hope to have given you some ideas of how you can use AR3 for your football matches. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please contact us at sales@wtvision.com.